This is the largest salt rope fishing vessel in the world. There are close to 100,000 in Yugu alone. You can earn $30,000 by going to sea in 1 month. The Northern Leader is owned by the American Seafood Group. Deep sea salt rope fishing vessel. Largest fishing vessel within Seafood Corporation. One length is about 121 meters, 21 meters wide, up to 2,000 tons. Unlike other big fishing boats, there is no fishing ban on the Northern Leader. You can fish in the depths of the ocean all year round. So in addition to the fixed time rest, almost all the time, both fish in the Bering Sea or the North Pacific. The appearance of other fishing boats is the same. The Northern Leader is likewise a powerful ship to deal with the Bering Sea, waves and extreme severe weather conditions. However, because the fishing location is close to the Arctic Circle, equipped with skates, ability to allow Northern Leader to navigate frozen waters. It can be said that, as long as it is not the surge layer, the Northern Leader is almost unrestricted in the sea area, except for the sailor's ice skates. The exterior design of the Northern Leader, full of modernity and practicality. It has a spacious deck, holds plenty of tackle and fishing equipment, multiple cranes and skid system on deck for manipulating and moving fishing nets, trawls and other fishing equipment. The layout and arrangement of these devices has been carefully designed to improve fishing efficiency and crew productivity. Hull of the Northern Leader. A streamlined layout is adopted, can effectively reduce resistance and improve navigation efficiency. The hull is constructed of strong steel to secure the boat, capable of navigating stably in harsh conditions. To drive this big ship, Northern Leader, equipped with a multi-master and auxiliary machine, powerful power system. Main power comes from diesel engine, capable of generating up to 12,000 horsepower of thrust. This is also the basis for its unimpeded passage in the Bering Sea. The main mission of the Northern Leader: catch various fish resources, includes cod, salmon, turbot, and more. Of course, not all fish caught can be brought back, because it is open all year round. Therefore, the crew should memorize the breeding season of various fish. If you catch a fish that is in breeding season, need to throw it back. The purpose of this is to ensure the ecological balance. After all, Northern Leader is not a one-time deal. It's not that I finished fishing once, and I won't come again next time. Fishing gear and control system of Northern Leader. To improve fishing efficiency and reduce losses, the ship also has modern fish processing equipment and cold storage facilities. Preliminary processing of caught fish is possible, and storage to ensure its freshness and quality. A trawler that wiped out an area of the sea, so the Northern Leader's fish disintegration and refrigeration. The system is quite advanced, is an old captain with more than 20 years of experience, has only had 2 job suspensions in his career. Not because of illness, but at that time, there was a huge typhoon at sea, wind speeds exceeding 160 kilometers per hour. He must be responsible for the crew and the Northern Leader. Temporary suspension of fishing. And on days when you can go to sea, 30 crew members on board. You can earn a salary of $30,000 per month, but also bear unbearable loneliness and fatigue fees for ordinary people. Money is not for everyone. The crew must return the last voyage within 24 hours. All the rest of the goods were unloaded and replenish supplies for the upcoming voyage. Almost every time I go to sea, the crew will be at sea for a month. In these preparations, most importantly, communication system located on top of hull. This is a satellite-based communication system, essential for fishing, ability to download weather information. The largest salt line fishing vessel in the world. How dangerous is it to go out to sea? If you don't pay attention, you will be buried in the belly of the fish. After the engine has been inspected and overhauled, the crew will be on the early morning pile as planned. Supplies for your next voyage, including the essential frozen squid bait. After all, everyone is Zhang Taigal. Ability to fish with straight hooks without bait. Northern Leader uses squid for fishing. Squid needs to be thawed before use. And try it with a bait hanger. Check to see if the headset is working. Do you need to adjust? After all, this hanging earphone is the soul of the whole ship. Can bait 5 hooks per second. 90 kilometers of line. Fishing line. It can be done in 6 hours. If these hooks were only made by hand, stop fishing. Going through these hooks alone can kill half the crew. From Dutch Harbor, Alaska, the Northern Leader will sail 500 kilometers northwest, head to the rich fishing grounds near the Pribilov Islands. Before the official fishing, the crew will have a good rest. Prepare for the upcoming fishing. Next month, they'll wrestle with the waves and the cold. When the Northern Leader arrives, Alaska's largest longline fishing vessel, when arriving at the fishery, the captain sets the course and spreads out the fishing line. Start sailing in circles. Before the official fishing, we'll do a little test first. See if there are enough fish in this sea. After determining the fishing range, automatic bait machine activated. 2 workers put thawed squid on the hook. Northern Leader will sail repeatedly in the area. Strive to spread the hooks evenly in the ocean. Most of those interested in squid are cold water fish, such as cod and Greenland halibut. These sea creatures who are interested in fish will embark on an unexpected land adventure. Captains use computer-aided inspections of underwater fishing grounds and use raw sodium to detect the swimming direction of the fish. It's time to take up the line. After 1 hour, the captain must accurately estimate the number and weight of the catch. A decision has been made on whether to continue fishing in the area. His judgment matters, because the crew's income depends on the catch. Pro rata revenue sharing. Once the fishing location is determined, the northern leader will. 9-10 kilometers long fishing lines are all released. Nearly 80,000 fishhooks. Each has the potential to catch a big fish. Different from being towed to a fishing boat during recovery, northern leader cannot directly fish. So it takes 2 employees to go to the right side of the boat, a job site known as the scoop area. One uses a large hook to hold the fish. Another catches fish with a net. This method is much slower than trawling, but it is able to acquire larger fish. These fish cost more. The scoop area is the most critical area on board because all the fish pass through it to get into the boat. If fish that cannot be caught appear, the crew will release them back into the ocean. This is flexibility that trawlers cannot. At the same time, the fishing net area is also the most dangerous area on the ship. It is easy to shoot down the crew into the deep sea. Need them on the hook. Fast and efficient when fishing. If the harvest does not meet expectations, the captain will lead the crew to search again. As the northern leader continues its journey north, harsh conditions in the Bering Sea are becoming more challenging. Sex even sometimes. The temperature inside and outside the ship can vary by tens of degrees. The true indoor and outdoor double sky. The crew can only last 30 minutes outside. I had to come back and replace someone to continue working. Non-stop rotation to work in order to ensure the harvest. In the center of the storm, captain asks employees to go out to work. Must carry a sharp short knife, used to separate the rope that hooks oneself. Repeatedly emphasize that life is greater than all. Strong winds and huge waves put enormous stress on the crew. But the crew is not afraid. There is an old saying that the greater the wind and waves, the more expensive the rain. Although the storm is terrifying, but no previous life is more terrifying than a storm. Fortunately, no one was swept overboard in this storm. Only one person was unlucky and suffered a minor injury, temporarily unable to work. Fortunately, no one died. Neat when you come, be tidy when you go back. Work on the world's largest salt line fishing vessel. How hard is it? At least half of the wages are mental damage expenses. There is a dedicated processing area on the northern leader. The fish caught will be sent here first. Do preliminary processing to keep fresh. The crew must be as fast as possible. Cut up the fish and freeze. Different fish also have different processing methods. The first thing is to dismember the fish. To ensure efficiency, each stage is only responsible for its one-step processing. The processed fish will be sent to the delivery bag, waiting for the next step, for convenient storage, and the northern leader will also pack the fish. Turn into bricks. This not only saves storage space, more effectively distinguish. What kind of fish are you selling? After all, it is impossible to catch only one kind of fish every time you go to sea. Internal organs that have been divided will be smashed into fish paste on the spot. Do the same packaging. These are sold to manufacturers of pet food. After all, although people don't eat it, it is at least meat. Pet cats and other animals like this feed very much. Of course, it doesn't always go well. Sometimes there are some small problems in the boat, like the hydraulics start leaking oil. The engineers on board need to be here immediately and fix it in a short time. Otherwise, there will be a backlog of surplus goods. But don't worry about oil leaks, because food-grade hydraulic oil is used. Even if it is spilled directly on the fish, no problem. A fish completes all steps from being fished out to. It will never take more than 20 minutes, so to speak. Employees working on a boat, then the master chef who killed fish for 10 years in a large supermarket. My heart is still cold. At least for me. Normally, each crew member, 17 hours a day. In case of special circumstances, there may be overtime, but even so, there is still an endless stream of people who want to go to work. After all, what is given is really much. A year's wages for a well-off life. Become a millionaire in 10 years. For the rest of the time, just lie down and retire. Those who live and die in China, in the eyes of social animals, who still owe the landlord $200 in a month. This is a perfect shortcut to revenge. All the crew members were happy when they returned, because they caught $2 million worth of fish. This trip to sea can be said to be profitable, full of pores. These fish will be bought immediately after they leave the ship. Don't even have to wait for the boat to dock. Famous hotel kitchens in the catering industry will place the order in advance. I can't wait to let the ship unload directly at the door of my hotel. There are 2 iron laws in the catering industry that support the rise and fall. One is the freshness of the ingredients. One is the taste of the ingredients themselves. Sturgeon caught by northern leader. Sturgeon is one of the best. Delicious is a frequent visitor on the tables of high-end restaurants. It can be said to be one of the must-order products. Because the product is so popular, created a huge market. That's why the northern leader. Of course, things are not absolute. After all, even if the sturgeon market is not booming, the northern leader will not work either. After all, fishing is not fishing. But while making money on this boat, there is a fatal problem. Just too little rest time. Fewer than 20 days off per year. It can be said, except for major festivals and a few rest days, all the rest of the time is at sea. It can be said that the crew also earn hard money. After all, not everyone can endure loneliness and loneliness. After the northern leader docks, the rest of the time is truly the crew's own. It's all about survival. Otherwise, who wants to work every day? But the rest time is short. Only 24 hours. When the time comes, the crew will board the ship again, start a new sea journey.